We are so back. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? Hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. I am back, and I really hope to stay back. Long story short, I had chronic sinusitis. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Had to get something called the balloon sinuplasty. It was not the greatest, but it also really hindered my running and just my overall well-being. But since that procedure, I am feeling a lot better. So I started with some run walking and then some full running. And we're just going to try to build on that and be grateful that I am feeling a lot better than I was. So a little before I started to feel really crappy, the Brooks Glycerin Max showed up on my doorstep. So I really couldn't run in this shoe for a long time while I had it. But on days that I was feeling okay, I would either go for a walk in this shoe or do some kind of walk-run exercise where I'd run for some time, then I'd throw some walking in just to balance it out because my heart rate was much higher than it usually is because of all the medications I was on and just because I felt like garbage. Well, post-procedure, I have done some straight through runs, 3-mile runs at an easy pace, but we will absolutely take it. And I gotta say, I don't think that there is a better shoe to be my partner while all this has been going down. Before we get started today, I do want to ask that if you are not subscribed to this channel, if you can please go ahead and do so. Every subscription helps, and I am trying to get to as many subscribers as I possibly can by the end of the year, so please go and hit that subscribe button. And if one video a week, usually it is one video a week, but it's been a little less lately because of all this mess. If one video a week is not enough for you on YouTube, then go follow me on Instagram where I am posting more content as much as I possibly can, and hopefully even more now that I'm feeling a little bit better. The Glycerin Max is exactly what you'd think it'd be. It's a bigger, cushier glycerin. And the glycerin was already Brooks' like cushiony shoe. So this is just that times a billion, like on roids. It's supposed to provide you the utmost comfort for the utmost amount of mileage. We'll talk about all the things I like, some of the things I didn't like, and all that in between. But of course, before we do that, you gotta watch the run footage. And one more thing before we get started, this shoe was sent to me by Brooks. However, they're not going to see this video before you. They can't tell me what to say, and all of my opinions are always my own. As we always do here, let's start with the upper of the Glycerin Max. Brooks is using something called a triple layer engineered mesh for the Glycerin Max, and that makes you think that it would be pretty heavy feeling, but it's actually not too bad. Definitely has some thickness to it, but there are some ventilation holes that I did feel air passing through, especially in that forefoot. Going to that midfoot, you have the big old Brooks logo there that does kind of do something to hold your midfoot in place, and the back, the heel counter is pretty sturdy. The laces are pretty standard, stayed tied. The tongue is not gusseted, but not something that I had a problem with, and there is plenty of padding around the ankle collar of this shoe. So as we discussed before, obviously this this upper is supposed to provide you with tons of comfort, and that's exactly what it did. This triple layer mesh situation feels really comfortable on your foot. It's soft, it's pillowy, the laces are like pillowy feeling as well. Just the whole upper hugs your foot in a really nice way. One thing I'll say about the fit of this shoe is that when I tried it on for the first time, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be a touch short. I will say though, while running in the shoe, I don't feel that. It doesn't really pose an issue. Sometimes I do feel the very tip of my big toe hit the front of the shoe, but again, it hasn't really caused me any concern or problem. Turning the Glycerin Max over this way, I think it has an average amount of width in that midfoot area. I'm not sure if this shoe comes in wide, but I think that it's going to be pretty accommodating for different types of feet. I had no issues with hot spots, blisters, or irritation in the Glycerin Max's upper. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very pleasant and makes sense with the rest of the shoe. Do I think that they could have toned down on the 3 layers? Maybe we could have just had 2 layers. Yeah, but it's not the worst and definitely not a deal breaker. So all in all, I think they did a nice job here with the upper. But of course, all we really care about is this big, huge chunk of midsole. So let's chat about that. Brooks is using a brand new technology that they're calling DNA tuned. Brooks is saying this is their next generation of nitrogen infused foam. This is sort of inside baseball, but they use some kind of dual cell technology. So there's larger cells in the heel for a plusher landing, they say, and smaller cells in the forefoot for a more responsive toe off. You got a ton of stack here. So whether you're landing on your heel or you're landing in your toe area, you're gonna feel tons of protection. And you know, I'm a sucker for a rocker technology. Here, Brooks is using something called the Glide Roll Rocker. Say that 10 times fast. So how does it feel to run on all this cushion? I think people who are skeptical about max cushion shoes would take a look at this and be like, absolutely not. That is way too much foam. It's gonna feel way too cushiony and soft and sloppy. And there are some max cushion shoes that do feel that way. But I really don't think that the Glycerin Max is one of them. It's way more responsive than something like EVA based. You are gonna feel your foot press down into that foam a bit, but it's not gonna stay there. You do feel a little bit of energy and life back from the DNA tuned foam. And with that glide roll technology, it does really help to keep that turnover going without feeling like you're wearing a cement brick on your foot. The Glycerin Max was perfect for the workouts I did that were walking and running. It feels great walking and then running. It doesn't feel disjointed when you switch it up between the two. It's not like this is clearly a running shoe and can't be used for walking, or clearly a walking shoe and can't be used for running. I think it transitions really nicely. And then while I did do a lot of easier mileage in this shoe when I was able to, today I did see another runner on my run at the very end, and while I probably shouldn't have, I did pick up the pace so that I could beat her to the stop sign. I know, I beat her to the stop sign. I mean, I'm amazing, aren't I? But anyway, during the time that I was picking up the pace in the shoe, it felt pretty nice, and that glide roll again just helped me to turn over in my stride. Certainly I would not use this for tempo runs or races or anything like that. If that's your jam, go for it. I think there's better shoes for that kind of thing. However, if you are using this for like marathon training, half marathon training, whatever, and you have a long run that you gotta do and you want something comfortable, but you also gotta do a couple little faster things in that run, I think that you could get away with it in the Glycerin Max. This shoe will absolutely destroy long mileage. I mean, I could see crushing a 20-mile run in the shoe, and I really wish that I could. I really wish that was the season that I was in right now, but I am hoping to take this, you know, for me right now, long run is like 5 miles and maybe like 8 is like super long. I hope to take this shoe out for that sort of thing right now. But we'll see. I know that it would do absolutely amazing, and a lot of people commented on my Instagram reel and said they took it out for really long double-digit miles, and it did really well, so I'm not surprised. Stability-wise, it's okay. I am overpronating a bit, but nothing that impacted anything at all. This is my favorite midsole that Brooks has. This is my favorite shoe that Brooks has. The only drawbacks that I would say is that, yes, this is a little bit heavy. And the other thing is that I have really big feet. This is a really big shoe, so it just makes my foot look absolutely absurd. And I was a little self-conscious about that at first, but then I was just like, F it. I don't care. I love the shoe and I don't care what it looked like, okay? But anyway, Brooks has been holding out on us. This is an amazing shoe. This is amazing midsole. And I'm really excited about it. I'm super excited that it's out for everyone to try, and I'm glad that I got to experience it. Moving on down to the outsole, Brooks is using good old rubber in the forefoot of this shoe. You can see it around the perimeter, a little bit in the middle of the shoe, and then we got some exposed DNA tuned foam and two little pods of rubber in the heel. I think this traction was fine. I haven't really taken it out on any crazy conditions, but it grips onto the pavement after 20 miles. It's looking brand new pretty much, just some discoloration. And even that exposed DNA tuned foam feels pretty good, or rather looks pretty good. No real wear on that either. The shoe is basically a tank from top to bottom. And how much does this tank cost? Well, and how much does this tank cost if you're looking to buy it? Well, on runningwarehouse.com, it is $199.95. Now, I know that that is definitely a hefty price tag, and some of you, I said $200 and you're like, forget it, clicked off the video, and I get it. It's a lot of money to spend. However, I will say that this is a lot of shoe, and it's gonna last a hell of a long time. Like, there is no doubt in my mind this shoe is gonna last probably longer than most shoes on the market. So it might be worth it to have a $200 shoe that's gonna last well over 200 miles. If you're interested in picking up a pair of the Glycerin Max, I will put links in the description of this video. You can just click those and pick up your own pair. Those are affiliate links with Running Warehouse, however, it doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos. And with that said, would I pay $200 for the Glycerin Max? I would. You're gonna get your bang for your buck here. There's really not too many shoes better than the Brooks Glycerin Max out there for your long, slow, easy miles. What do you guys think of the Glycerin Max? Do you like it? Are you not really a fan of it? Interested in trying it? Let me know in the comments down below as well. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Well, everyone, that concludes this video on the Brooks Glycerin Max. If you enjoyed it, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I make a new video. Also, I'm into this color. It's like simple with that hint of pink. They're calling it Diva Pink, which I don't really love, but I like the color of it, so another thumbs up. I hope to have another video for you next week. But in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like heller. And thank you for your patience. I'll see you next time. Scoob, are you happy to be back? Are you happy we did a video today? Oh, you look so happy about it. Okay, say bye.